Welcome back, everybody. I hope you are having a fantastic Sunday. Let's just get right into it. Just a quick preface, this was only a 4-hour day just for the ceremony toasts and the first dances. I only did this because I did not have the date booked already, and it was 3 weeks ago that they booked me. So I figured, why not make an extra buck doing this? So I showed up about 15 minutes before the ceremony, which was a little bit later than I hoped, and I got all my cameras set up, mic'd up the groom, and I set up a mic into the PA system. And it was a very windy day, so I am glad I have 100 sources of audio because I also mic'd up my other 2 cameras. And this is my 3rd camera that I would normally have on a gimbal that I'm showing you the shot of. This was kind of just there as an extra camera, just in case the other angles did something funky, or just to have that 3rd angle. The photographer did get in the way of it a few times, and I told her that is totally fine because I had 2 other cameras as a backup, so I need to also let her do her job. So as you can see on this camera, I had a 50mm on there, and you could see just the bride's face, which was super nice. And on the one adjacent over there on the other side, that one you could see the groom's face, and that was on a 70-200, and I think I was at like probably an 85mm. So on the one I just showed you, that's a 75-ish mil because it's on a crop sensor camera. So I kind of just set all 3 cameras up, a ton of different audio, ton of different mics. I mic'd up 2 cameras and all that fun stuff. And then I just kind of walked around the whole ceremony. I just kept going around checking the cameras, making sure they were still recording, making sure everything was good. And the biggest thing I was really checking by going back and forth to all these cameras was to make sure that if the bride and groom moved or twisted or turned, that you could still see their face or have a good angle of what's going on. Now, this camera right here that I'm at, I had at 70mm, and I believe in this shot the photographer was most likely in it, but that's not a huge deal because, like I said, I've got 18 other cameras, which was really easy. So this entire day was super easy for me because I didn't have to do a highlight. I literally just did the main events with 3 different camera angles, and that was kind of it. And during this ceremony, it was extremely windy, so I did have a dead cat on one of my mics. I wish I had like a mini dead cat for my lav I had on him, but I don't. And yeah, so it was a little bit windy, but I got a ton of audio, so I should be totally fine there. So the ceremony wasn't too long, and when I was done, I got all of my cameras ready because I didn't have anything to do for a couple of hours until dinner, which was pretty awesome. Not really used to not having anything to do, so I took my time breaking down my equipment. I left 2 of my cameras on the tripods, and I just only broke 1 down, which was my 70D, I would want to say my 3rd camera, mainly because I'm not going to need 3 cameras for the toasts and the first dances because they would take up way too much room, as you'll see in a little bit here. So I just packed this one up, put the tripod in my car so it's easier to get my stuff together later on. And I also asked the DJ if he needed any help because he was a pretty cool guy. So I'm always down for helping people when I have time. And yeah, people appreciate that. I also wanted to mention that I was only booked by their parents, the bride's parents. So I didn't really have much direction or schedule or really anything, which kind of wasn't the greatest. I really wish I would have had more direction or at least a timeline. And they just told me to get in contact with the photographer, which is kind of all right, but I would have really rather talked to the bride about a week before the wedding or something, or anytime, just to go over the little details. I also wanted to mention right here, the bride and the groom were super awesome. As you can see, they were over here high-fiving the band and stuff, and they were doing that for everybody. Like even during the ceremony, they were high-fiving each other. That's just something I wanted to throw in here real quick. The photographer did give me some details and some of the schedule and stuff, so it wasn't that bad, but she did do a special song for the groom during the first dance, or right before, and you'll see that in a little bit. And apparently it was a secret, and I mentioned it right in front of her and the groom, so she kind of got a little nervous because I was blabbing my mouth, but nobody told me anything. So that's kind of the things that happen when you don't really know what's going on. So I highly recommend. Always try to talk with the bride before the wedding. I tried and I asked a few times, but I didn't have any contact information for her. On the contract, her parents just put their information. So I was kind of in a hole at that point, and I tried my best to contact the photographer and get all the information from her, but the day worked out. It was all right. I just wish I had more information so I didn't run my mouth like I did and almost ruin a fun surprise for them. But yeah, so right here, I'm just showing you the venue. It was a very small wedding, and the barn was also very small. So that's why I put a camera away, because having 2 cameras or 3 cameras set up in there and tripods is literally impossible. Right here, the bride and the groom did their entrance, and since I didn't have a schedule, I had no idea what was going on, and I thought they were doing their first dance right then and there, and I was extremely stressed out because no one told me anything, and no one told me if they were doing their first dances before or after their entrance or right, So I got a little nervous and I was freaking out for a second, but then, it all worked out and they just did a little dance for fun. So then we get to the first dance and all that fun stuff. As you saw, my tripod was in the corner, and then I also have my other camera right in the doorway, so you can have an angle that basically sees the entire the dance floor, and the camera in the back is kind of hidden. It's not too obstructed. It's kind of hard to see. As you can see, my angle, it's on a 24 mil, so you can see everything. And apparently that's all the GoPro footage I got through the day. I thought I got more, but I guess I am just crazy. But anyway, the bride did a special song for her husband, and she was really good, a really good singer. And that was pretty awesome. And they had the best man and the maid of honor also was singing and playing instruments, which was really cool. But basically, I just stayed, and the rest of the night, just the dancing went on, and the speeches. Apparently, I missed that on GoPro as well. I thought I had a lot, but I guess not. Now I learned to record more with my GoPro. So sorry about the replay of footage here or extra whatever I decide to put here, but that's basically it. The whole night ended up working out. I stayed an extra 30 minutes, which was kind of disappointing. You gotta take the hit. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It was a little bit shorter because it was a very short day, but I just wanted to go over the few things that happened to me on this day that weren't the greatest, like not knowing anything that's going on. So all these videos, I'm hoping you learn at least one thing or realize or have a new technique or something that you learn from these videos that you can take home with you to your next wedding, or maybe this will help you learn if you're just getting into weddings. So hope you guys enjoyed it. Feel free to hit that like button, or punch it in the face like everyone else should do. And then if you want to see more content like this, I will be doing more weddings and commercial work behind the scenes and a bunch of other fun YouTube videos. So don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And if you're really into these videos, the bell button is the shiznit, because then you'll be notified when I put up a video, which would help me because I loves it when people see these videos. Anyway, hope you guys enjoy, have a good day, and I'll see you on the next one.